totally. Hi, everybody. My name is Jay Hitt, and I am the managing director of Unexpected Productions. And on Wednesday nights, we do a show called the Duo Improv Showcase. Well, there was a man who did a lot of the duo showcases, and he touched the whole duo community, as well as the improv community. I mean, he touched the whole world. Anybody he came in contact with, people loved him. His name is Kevin Guzowski. Kevin, this is not necessarily a memorial form. It's just more of a remembrance about all the great things he did with duos and all the people that he touched in our Seattle improv community. He was born on August 10th, 1961, and his birthday was August 10th of this year when he turned 59, and on Saturday, October 18th, he passed away. It was natural. It wasn't COVID related. It was very sad though for everybody. He's too young, too awesome to go so soon. But Kevin would probably rather have us be doing this right now than watching the elections and worrying about what's going on there. And he even had lots of Facebook posts and texts about what's happening now. Back in July, if you look at his stuff, he knew what was going on. He was very political and very smart. Just always just a super smart and intelligent guy. He had a couple of daughters, Karsten, Maya, a brother named Jay, it's a good name, and Michelle is his sister. He was a big Chicago White Sox fan. He started doing improv in the 80s, the early 80s, and did his first professional show at Second City back in 1986. And he did move to Seattle, and got in touch with the duo, this duo community here at Unexpected Productions, the Market Theater. So this is mainly going to be about his time with us, with doing duos and being part of this family here. He did at least, probably more, but recorded-wise, he did 76 duos since he was with us. And his very first duo was back in 2018, and it was actually May 16th, 2018, with Alan Hawkins. Alan is a really fantastic improviser, teacher, and they were best friends. They were really great friends, and they did their first duo here then. And then he just went on and did it with lots of people. And I have different dates as to when he did it. And there he is, right there with Alan at his first duo. But his second duo was with actually it was a trio, and it was with Dave Clapper and Alan. And it was during trio night. That was 6/6, 2018. And then on the 13th, he did a blind date, which means he just signed up. He didn't care who he played with. He was willing to play with anybody at all that just wanted him to do something with him. Fantastic improviser. I have a list of all the people that he did duos with, and I'm think I just want to go ahead and read them on down the list here. Let's see, I'll go back on here. Fourth duo was with Christine Kleinholz. And then he went to do the duo tournament. And the duo tournament was him and Alan. They did it. It was July 18th, 2018. And they used the name Good and Sweet. And they made it to the championships in duos, in the duo tournament. They went against Isaiah Harris and Obadiah Freeman, who actually won that year. They were called Rio. They were missing their other third partner, Tondi Davis. They usually are a trio. They also went against Jessica Landcrone and Tiffany Hitt. They were the Casseroles. And the Fat Cats were fairly new at the time. They did, after that, they did improv everywhere, but they were doing the duo tournament as well. And Kevin and Alan came in fourth. They weren't really happy about that, but they were fantastic. They refer to themselves as the old guys. But so going on down the list, they August 2018 was Rebecca Stoller, and then Obadiah Freeman was his next duo. September 12th was Shanna Allman, and then on the 19th of September 2018 was Shannon Bass, and then Amit Nagar, and then Shanna again. 1010 was Gretchen Lilly. Then Olivia Summers got him to do an Old Dog New Tricks duo. And Old Dog New Tricks, it's where you get an old guy. He's not that old, but I mean, you get somebody who's really experienced doing duos or doing improv, I guess, and you're a little bit newer. You improvise with each other, and they had a really great set. Then on Halloween night of 2018, he did a duo with Archana Iyer, and she loved that duo so much. I mean, why wouldn't you? But Kevin came dressed up as a sexy kitty, and so that was his costume all night. He had a cigar. He was packing a cigar, smoking a cigar, and running around and just being Kevin. Then going on down the list, he did a duo with Rachel Perlman, Eric Stutter, Courtney Harrington, Tondi Davis in December, Isaiah Harris in December later on that same year, 2018. He did one with Leah Engel. I thought I had a picture of him and Leah doing it. I guess I don't. And Shanna Allman, who he later did a show with at the Pocket Theater. Jeremy Robkin, Courtney Harrington, and then in 2019, February, he did a duo with Anna Miller, and they went on. They did other performances together, lots of other performances together, and Anna sent in a video on YouTube and wanted me to play it here. So let me get that ready, and I will play it for you here. So here we go. Here's Anna.
Hi, Duo family. Anna Miller here. I thought of an especially memorable Wednesday that I wanted to share with all of you in honor of Kevin Guzowski. On a Wednesday afternoon in November of 2018, Kevin and I got together for our first sketch writing session. It's funny to me now, thinking about how nervous I was then, but Kevin and I didn't know each other that well yet. I knew that he was an amazing writer, and I was so excited that he had said yes to sketch writing with me. It had been ages since I had laughed as much as I laughed in that writing session. There was a creative spark that ignited between us, and I know that many of you experienced similar sparks with Kevin. After that meeting, we grabbed some food and talked religion, or rather, I talked religion and Kevin explained his lack of need for one. And after that, we headed downtown for duos. I'd performed in duos before a handful of times, but I'd never really considered myself a regular. I did a lovely scene with Jeremy Robkin that night. Something about pants, I think. And after some post-duos drinking, I was convinced to continue on to the Blarney Stone for karaoke. I don't remember what time I got home that night, but I do remember waking up the next morning feeling more alive than I had in a very long time. That day, Kevin reminded me of someone I once dreamed I could be. A writer, an actor, a singer. And he did that for all of us. He saw straight through to our hearts. He encouraged us to connect with our true selves. And in the midst of that connection, he connected us with each other. Kevin's ability to foster community was astounding. And he's still doing it even now, after his death. I received many gifts through my friendship with Kevin, but one of the greatest gifts was his bringing me into this family, the Duos family. I love and miss you all so very much. I can't wait till we can be together in person again. And I will forever love and miss Kevin Guzowski.
Oh, that was Anna Miller. So thank you, Anna, for that really, really sweet remembering of Kevin. I believe that reminds me of a show they did. It was called the Epitomus or something. I think I'm getting that wrong there. Anyway, we're actually live at the theater doing this all live because we have some people that are going to be talking live in a moment. But I just wanted to play this video for you. Let's hope it works. Technology. Here we go. Uh-oh. There it is.
5, 6, 7, 8.
On this stage was February 26th. Oh, was that? Oh, sorry. Like I said, we're going to get that video going for you in a moment. But the very last video that Kevin did was on the stage was on February 26th of this year, 2020. And the person that he did it with is here tonight, and he wanted to say a few words about Kevin. Before I do, I want to let you know the final duo that Kevin did was May of this year in the form of a Zoom duo. He never really liked to do that stuff. He did it once, and it was with Anna, who just got done talking there. But his final stage duo was with Richard Templeman. And I'm going to take it over to Richard here. He's down there waiting there in his mask. And Richard, you can unmask if you want. You're quite a ways away there. So yeah, take it away.
Oh, okay. So I did a little digging, and unfortunately, well, I mean, everything happens for a reason. But I'll go back. That scheduled duo was, you said February 26th, was that right?
Yeah, February 26th.
So the week before, Jessica, myself, and Kevin went on this impromptu karaoke run where we ended up in Auburn and we were doing karaoke, and we were singing and we were having fun, and that's where, like, I know Kevin for the past, couple, 3 years, and we've seen each other and, performed in different group scenes and different things, but we had never really done any duos, and so we did put it on the books, but then I looked on my Facebook Messenger and it said, oh, I got called out for work that day, and Kevin, in his grace and wisdom, was like, carry on, good sir, these things happen. I'll go on without you. So I actually don't know who he performed with that night, but I will take credit for us at the karaoke bar. We bonded, we talked about his time in California, we talked about all the improv people that he hobnobbed it with, and then I was like, oh my gosh, Kevin Guzowski, I'm not worthy. And he's like, oh, I've done podcasts, these guys, and just the way he performed and the way we did things. So I'll say we had our duo in private at the karaoke bar in Auburn, and then looking through my messages, it looked like it just didn't happen in reality. So here we are on stage right now doing a duo too, Kevin. And anyway, he's amazing. He co-wrote the movie Karaoke Man, which I recently watched after he passed away, and it's incredible. And you can hear Kevin in the dialogue of that movie, of that film. You can hear his voice, and the things that we were talking to each other with mid-February in the bar are in the movie. I mean, we were freaking karaokeing together, and it just felt like a little special moment that I'm glad, Jessica, you and I got to go out with him and party on down the road and, share some beers and have some songs together. And so I guess in reality, I don't know who he ended up on stage with here that night, but it was supposed to be me. But I looked in my messages and it said, oh, I can't make it, so we'll have to reschedule. And then the pandemic happened, so here we are.
Oh, wow! Thanks, Richard. Thanks for
Yeah.
that. Thanks for that story.
Yeah, but I think that's so super special. He treated all of us like we were the most special people in the world, and now that he's gone, I hear similar stories from everybody. So what a great guy.
Yeah, and what was one thing that he did that did influence you, like that actually that you thought about that made you maybe a better improviser, or advice that he may have given you? He gave a lot of people advice.
Oh yeah. For instance, every time he performed on stage, this goes back to when I first encountered him. He was so mild-mannered, he was calm, and sometimes improvisers get the reputation for being frenetic and energetic and over the top and excitable, which is, that has its place in improv too. I'm often very excitable myself, but the way that he could just come at things from a very philosophical, thoughtful place, and he could do any sorts of characters that were, hey, what's going on? And just through his example of not just playing one way, but he had a different attack, like a more thoughtful, just awesome way of performing. And no matter who he was performing with, he always complimented the way that they were carrying the scene, and he would either be an opposite character or he would be someone that lifted up their character. So in talking with him too and seeing him perform was the real example to me that way.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing that story with us
Of course.
tonight. Yeah. I do have a video that I believe is going to work here that we're gonna play for you. And let me get it ready here. Here we go. Wrench in a Bucket. He was part of the group. Anna Miller and Sky Boggs and Rachel Perlman were all in this. So Wrench in a Bucket. Let's give it a whirl.
Wrench. Wrench.
All right, Wrench in a Bucket. That was one of the. Oh, it's getting applause out there. We have some people applauding out there. Yeah, that was they did Wrench in a Bucket live, I believe, and in various places. And that was Kevin with Anna Miller, Sky Boggs, and Rachel Perlman. So very, very nice. Thanks for sending that. One of the places that Kevin loved to go was Loretta's, Northwesterner. Part of the reason why he loved that bar, this bar is in South Park, and I'm not trying to do a commercial for it, but definitely go. It's a great place. It was the first bar that he took his daughter to, and when she turned 21. So he always had kind of a soft spot in his heart for that bar, and we went there on the day after he passed, and we had. He liked Jameson, he liked whiskey, and he liked light beer, and he liked cigars. So that's what we did. I was feeling it the next day, but it was all for Kevin. So it's a great place though. Go to it. It's in South Park, and tell him Kevin sent you. We have another person who would like to talk here. Let's get Jessica Robbins up. Jessica did a duo with Kevin, one on the 16th, or on October 16th, 2019, and then another one January of this year, January 15th. So she was one of the last ones to do a duo with Kevin. And Jessica, hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jay?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on up here, but doing well. So you've had a few stories with dealing with Kevin, but what's one of your favorite moments, favorite stories?
Oh, goodness sake. There was one night, not too long after I met him, and I was at the Pocket, and I mentioned, because he had a show that was coming up, and I like briefly ran into him at the lobby, like in passing. I had seen the previous show, and he was in a show that was coming up, and he asked me if I was going to stay for this show, and I said, oh, I've got, this thing going on the next day, and also this other person drove me. Actually, I think it was Richard that had driven me. And he offered to drive me home. I was like, oh my God, I live all the way in Auburn. He goes, yeah, so, That was just Kevin. God, when you were in the room with Kevin, you just felt smarter and more capable. Just in general, he had this way of just being so patient and thoughtful when he was listening to you that you just felt like anything was possible, you know? And again, I'm hearing stories of how everyone felt lifted up and supported when he was in the room with them, and it just, that is just exactly who he was. Yeah. The last time I saw Kevin in person was in September of this year. He was a writer, as we all know. He wrote screenplays for Hollywood at one point, and including Karaoke Man. This is not a commercial for that either, but check it out. But I talked to him, I met up to talk with him about writing. And I just started writing a series of monologues with a friend of mine that turned into a show that I did not too long after we met up. And I just wanted to talk to him about the process of writing. And basically the only advice he kept giving me in so many words was just do it. Just like, do it. And I was like, okay, so like, what's the difference between this and that? And he was like, I don't know, just write a thing. This is writing. And he told me a story about how when he was in LA, he and his writing partner had been offered this contract with a movie studio, and something happened, the contract fell through, but they're in this tiny office that is leased in a huge block of offices in a studio. And when they found out their contract had been dropped, they talked to somebody that was like the head of the lease, and the person was like, yeah, so technically you're not supposed to occupy this office anymore. However, if you keep showing up and using that as your office, nobody's going to say anything. So he and his writing partner used this office without anybody knowing for like 3 years. They wrote all these scripts for free, essentially. So I think that's fantastic. You know, it's like bloom where you're planted. That was the biggest lesson he gave us. Like, you are capable of great things wherever you are. You just gotta do the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a very nice. Yes, very nice. Give a round of applause. Give a round of applause. He was very, just always giving people advice, and I loved some of the stuff he was saying. He was so smart, and thanks for sharing. We did a show at the Palace Theater. The very first show that we did at the Palace Theater, I walked in, and we were having our theater taken over by a comedy show. It was a comedy showcase from an outside teacher, Peter Gray, awesome teacher, great guy. So we let him use our theater, and I was running around Georgetown, and I walk into the Palace Theater. There was a really cool looking stage, and I went up to the bartender and said, hey, do you think we could use your stage tomorrow? Ours is getting taken over. And he said, oh, I don't know, let me check. And so he called the boss who was does the drag persona Sylvia O. Stay for More, was the boss. And called Sylvia up, and she said, yeah, let him come in and do it. And so we had an impromptu. We piled into the Palace Theater, and I remember Kevin was there, and all these other people. Everybody. This picture there that I circled Kevin with the arrow pointing at him there. But everybody just came down and just supported the instantaneous night of this show, and we brought our own audience, and it was like literally the day before. And Kevin was always so positive and always so willing to just put himself into the community in all forms of support. And there he is, just sitting in the audience. But he did do a duo that night. I don't have a picture of him there. But eventually, we got a ongoing gig at the Palace Theater, and the very first night of our official booking, I guess, we did a show, and Kevin was part of that show, again with his first duo partners, Dave Clapper and Alan Hawkins, and they did a show called Mammoth's Basement. And actually what happened was, I said, what do you want to call your show? They just wanted to get together. They wanted to do something, and so they ended up deciding they wanted to do Mammoth. And I said, what do you want to call it? And Kevin said, I don't care. So I said, oh, okay, I'll just call it Mammoth's Basement. And he talked to the guys, and they decided to just keep that name. So that's the picture cut from their heads of various Facebook cuts and thrown together, and made a little poster called Mammoth's Basement. And that's Dave Clapper in the middle, and that's actually a picture of him doing the author of
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson. That's right. Yeah, he for another show. Anyway, so Mammoth's Basement. That's where it all began there at the Palace Theater in Georgetown. So. I have another video that was shared. So sorry about my organization. This is highly organized, but this is an improv show too. We got to stick with the improv rules. Kevin would not want this any other way. So on 7/10/19, he did a duo with Connor McLean, and that video actually happened to be recorded by Richard, who we just talked to. And so I wanted to go ahead and share this video with you. This is Kevin and Connor, and it's hosted by another big fan, or I'm a big fan of his, Eric Studer. So let's get him up here, and we'll get another video going here.
All right, now they're great. They're amazing people. Everybody on this list is amazing people. It is really a fucking honor to be here tonight. That is not a joke.
You're amazing people!
Oh my God. Seriously. Okay, I gotta focus here. Next up, we have some amazing people coming to the stage. I kissed one of them backstage a second ago. No joke. Because Olivia made me. We have Connor McLean and Kevin Guzowski. Only if it makes me.
Which one did he kiss? See, now it started. Hello. From a raised hand, can I get something something you purchased recently? It doesn't have to be the most recent thing you purchased, but just something recently. From a hand, please.
Virtual reality goggles.
Virtual reality goggles. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Mine doesn't work. John?
What?
You're seeing things?
Oh yeah.
What?
There's like a monkey and a cat playing like Cat's Cradle.
Like a real monkey?
No, not a real monkey.
But you see a real monkey, like you see it.
Yes.
I got nothing. Just staring into blackness.
No, seriously. Here, try these. There. You see the monkey?
Uh-huh.
Do you see the cat?
Uh-huh.
Do you see the yarn? Right?
John, these are amazing!
Oh, man.
Oh! The normal world's so boring now.
You know,
I want a monkey! John, I want a monkey and I want the yarn! I want to live in that!
that's fucked up, John.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, because virtual reality is not reality. It's virtual. So it's not real, John.
I understand it's not real. I'm just saying I want to live in that. I like it more than this world. Why is that a problem? See? You're so much happier now. Hey, whoa. Come on. Why is that a problem? That makes me happy. That makes you happy. Why is it bad if we want to just escape there every now and then?
Because eventually the batteries will die, John. And when the batteries die and you're wearing the goggles, you die too.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that to us.
It's what Nintendo wanted.
John, it's not. Is it worth it, John?
It might be.
John, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you to the VR, John. John, nothing's there, John.
I'm in the yarn. I'm in the cradle.
Describe it to me, John.
It's yarn,
Yeah?
and the yarn crisscrosses.
It crisscrosses everything?
Yeah,
What does it feel like, John?
it feels like yarn, John. Feels like yarn.
John?
Yes, John?
Do you think Mom and Dad laughed when they named us the same thing?
I think Mom and Dad laughed at everything, John. They were clowns.
Why can't we be VR people? That was their escape. Let's let this be ours. It's so pretty. Look, the monkey's throwing me yarn. I want to go to the monkey, John. John, I want to go to the monkey.
I'm never gonna watch these lips again. That's a fair point. I feel sorry for Connor.
All right, that was Connor McLean with Kevin Guzowski at our Duo Improv Showcase. We have another gentleman out here who would like to say a few words. Let's give it up for Dre Anderson. Here's Dre Anderson. Hey, Dre. How you doing?
I'm great. Yo, Kevy Kev, you old gray son of... Wait, this isn't the roast? Oh, I mean, dearest Kevin, one of my fondest of friends, the memories that we shared on and off stage are always going to be near and dear to me. He's the kind of dude that always walked at his own pace through everything. You're not going to hear him get overly excited about... I feel like life just didn't excite him as much, maybe, because he was never too amped about anything. It was always, like, patient, very calm with all of his mannerisms and his things. I'd be nervous about going on stage or something and doing something. He's just like, breathe. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right, I should do that. It was just always, any single time you were in the same room as Kevin, there was like this tranquility that was about him. There was like this spirit that would be evoked within the room. And all of a sudden, like, those pre-game jitters would just kind of fade away. or after a show, if you felt like you did the worst you could possibly do on a stage, like, I just stood on stage in verbal diarrhea for 10 minutes, it was awful. He'd be like, but did you learn something? Damn it, Kevin, I did. And I just can't ever appreciate, you know, someone enough while they're still here. Give them the flowers while they can still smell them. But we can take the time to share these memories, these opportunities to grow together, mourn together, grieve together, and relive those great times. Because I think Kevin would like it better if it was a roast instead, but that's the Kevin I knew. So to the grizzly, gray bearded, rest in peace. We love you, nearly departed but never forgotten. And I'm going to drink all of the whiskey that Unexpected Productions has to offer me for free. I'm out!
Oh, thank you, Dre. Thank you, Dre. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I think Kevin definitely would appreciate a little more roasting and less sad, but you know, it's both. It's sad, but we are celebrating his duo performances and all that stuff too. But thank you, Dre. Thank you very much. We have another live person talking. That's going to be talking to you in a moment here. But I did want to throw in one more video. It's probably the final video of the night, and it's actually Jessica Robbins. Now you saw Jessica earlier there talking about Kevin and the writing, and we have a video that Jessica has. So let's check it out.
We have Kevin Guzowski,
yes.
Jessica Robbins.
Woo! Hey!
How is everybody? Okay, I'll yell back at you when you ask me that question.
How are you?
Nice to see you. I'm great. Actually, I just got back from Canada 14 today.
Woo!
Within the first hour of being there, I already saw Tim Hortons and a Maple Leaf, so I felt like I was good. So we're going to give a suggestion and do a scene. Can I get somebody's favorite adjective, which is a word that describes a noun? Yes.
Fierce.
Fierce!
Yeah.
Fierce. Fierce.
Woo!
Lovely.
Thank you, Coronicus.
Lovely.
Thank you, Coronicus. Are you sure your heart's in the photography today? I'm sensing a deep melancholy. Coronicus, you never hang up the Nikon.
Delphi,
Yes.
I'm afraid that I am angry. So very, very angry.
Yes, I can see the rage. You've never outburst like this before.
I apologize.
As you should. You're scaring me.
Delphi,
Coronicus.
Delphi, you've done something that has irritated me beyond a level of irritation that I have ever experienced since I have discovered the word.
Tell me about it.
Irritated. You chose to arrive early.
Coronicus, I'm so sorry.
Delphi, stop! This is not rectifiable. Your arrival early has forced me to lose all sense of creativity. Delphi, you rude.
I'm so sorry.
Delphi!
Yes.
I am no longer Coronicus. Call me Steve.
I will.
It's my given name.
I don't know, Steve.
My
shall outburst at you. You never even gave me a chance to explain, and without allowing me to explain and apologize, which I would have gladly done, Steve.
Striking me.
You automatically go to the lowest and worst commonplace denominator and make me deal with the problem.
I choose the highest numerator. Indeed, lowest common denominator, but always the highest ruminator. Very well. Explain thyself.
It's daylight savings time.
Damn science!
I'm fashionably late because my Apple Watch didn't update.
Do you have it set for the proper location?
I don't know how to use it.
know
I just
either.
look at it. I'm fashionable. I don't know technology.
Delphi,
What, Steve?
stop calling me that.
You told me to. You hung up your Nikon, and you told me to. Get to live with the ramifications, not me.
Delphi, look at me. Look at me. Delphi, I beg of you. Yes! Again. Delphi.
Did you? The whole thing was just to get the perfect picture of me.
It was a
All right, there it was, Jessica and Kevin. Thanks, Jessica. All right, well, we may actually have one more video, but first we have our potentially final live talker here, and I showed you the Palace shows. She was at these shows, and she just knows a lot about Kevin's performance. Sorry, things are coming. Things are happening here. Sorry. So, oops. That was Rich Hawkins, by the way. He's getting ready to do probably. I guess we maybe have one more video that's going to be coming up here. But let me introduce you to somebody who I love very much. This is Tiffany Hitt. I'm related to her too.
You got me there.
Hey! Do you like my UP mask?
It's beautiful.
Isn't it great? Hey, let's give it up for Jay. What a wonderful tribute. Wonderful tribute that I know Kevin would be kind of shaking his head like, you know, oh, you guys are silly for doing all this, but you know, he would love it, and I think it's really lovely of you to do that, Jay. And you know, he's just doing so many great things like these masks, which you can get for a donation to our nonprofit theater on a website called Click and Pledge something. Right. Anyways, do you have a question for me, Jay?
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say you gotta do a lot of talking with Kevin. You knew Kevin really well. He would sometimes come over to our house. We would hang out and talk and do some drink some whatever we were drinking at the time.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things that Tiffany did one time for me, it was for my birthday this year, actually, 2020, February, is she wanted to send me on a trip with another dude to go see the Trailblazer game. See over here. I'm on the screen with you there. And I've always wanted to see a Trailblazer game. I'd never seen one. She bought train tickets, and guess who she got to go with me? It was Kevin Guzowski, my favorite guy. It was so much fun, and she did that knowing that Kevin was a big sports fan, and I was a big fan of Kevin, and I think Kevin was a fan of me. We had a lot of fun, but Tiffany sent Kevin and I to see a game, and I don't know what are some things that maybe you'd like to share about Kevin.
Well, the reason I picked Kevin and you to go on that trip is because I loved it when Kevin would come over, or we'd have late nights here at the bar, and what I loved most was watching Jay and Kevin talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. We all know that Kevin could hold a conversation for hours, and so it was always my favorite thing. He'd like come over, he'd be like super self-sufficient, he'd have like a little cooler with a 6-pack of Rolling Rock and like a cigar that he would somehow just nurse this whole long cigar, you know, all day until 3 a.m. And it was like they never ran out of things to talk about. And I wasn't in the same age bracket, close, but different age bracket, so they'd be like, well, you know, so-and-so, you know, of Second City in the early 1980s or whatever, and I'd be like, just tell me about it. No. But it was so fun for Jay and Kevin to like have all these kind of references in common, and when you were around Kevin, just echoing what most people have said, you just felt like that tranquility, that peace, that patience, but you also felt like this real amazing kind of retro, old school comedy vibe, you know. So I loved hearing his stories about Second City and like Chicago, but he never bragged about it. He'd always be like, yeah, I did a little writing. I've written a few screenplays, you know, and then I'd be like, well, like what? And then he would elaborate, and I'm like, well, holy shit, what are you doing? Like, you know, but he was so humble, and that was just really wonderful. But I loved the friendship that Jay and Kevin had. As far as performing, similar to what you all have said, you know, I had the pleasure of doing a Tennessee Williams duo with Kevin, which is like, you know, Kevin is kind of a Tennessee Williams movie in himself, and he's like kind of old school, would move slowly, you know, wasn't afraid to like say things to your face, you know. But we did a duo, and it must have been, you know, 8 minutes or whatever our cutoff was. But we just felt like the time flew. We wish we could have done a whole full-length play. The two of us, you know, talked about that. We're like, we could do a whole Tennessee Williams play, the two of us, and it would just be so much fun. And his patience on stage. And one of my favorite duos that I ever saw him do was with Jill Ferris, who, if you know Jill Ferris and have seen her, she's also one of those patient, like most trusting improvisers that never rushes anything, doesn't force anything, super in tune to like every little tiny offer. So when she and Kevin were playing together, it was like this most amazing magic. And I remember watching them and being like, is anyone else watching this? This is like incredible art. And just so talented and gracious and generous.
Oh yeah. Was there one thing that you learned from Kevin? Like, what was one of the things that maybe you took away as like something you might tell a student of improv, or some kind of wisdom that you may have taken away from playing with him, watching him, talking with him?
Yeah, I think it's similar to kind of what Dre was saying, which is like, you know, I'd be like, oh man, you know, I missed that offer, or I did this, or blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, well, don't do it again. Like, well, you know you're going to get back up on stage, so, you know, don't do that again. So, and I love that he wasn't afraid to shoot it honestly to you, you know, like, and I think I'm probably one of many people who are constantly hoping for Kevin's approval. You know, you wanted Kevin to like what you did on stage, or you might be like, did you watch my scene? You know, like fishing for like something that Kevin, and he'd be like, oh yeah, it was great. It's great. And that was always something to strive for, was Kevin's approval.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Cheers to Kevin. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Yes,
To
definitely.
cheap domestic
Raise
beer.
it up for Kevin. Those are nice. And you know what? We do have one final video. This video is from from someone who left Seattle for a while. Left Seattle, went to Texas. She is a fantastic improviser, a great performer, and loved playing with Kevin. Loved Kevin. We have a video with her and Kevin. This is Kevin and Tondi.
What?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tondi is actually live in the theater as well. She came back. She came to visit, say hi. Maybe we'll get her to wave the camera in a minute here. But
She'll say something.
here comes the video. Then we'll get Tondi on stage at least just to wave and stuff in a moment here. But here's
Ladies and gentlemen, next, the almost famous Kevin Guzowski, and T is for Tondi Davis.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So, want to get a suggestion for something? Or?
Wow, straight to the point. Okay. When did you start? Because like old dog, new tricks.
1986.
Okay, it's clear. I started in like 2015. I smoke a lot, so I don't know if that's right. 2015. Yeah, I guess that wasn't needed. We can just get to that.
So how about a suggestion?
Yeah. Babysitter.
Babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like probably the best job I've ever had.
I mean, maybe you should take him out of the closet.
He likes it in there.
Okay. You're the babysitter.
Yeah, he's
you're
gay.
good.
Just doesn't know it yet.
Man, this place is huge. You know, sometimes when I'm cleaning, I just watch TV instead.
Oh.
What I'm saying is we're both doing a whack-ass job, so like,
I usually try to pay as much attention to the baby as well. What is this show?
Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's crazy.
That one's kind of pretty.
Kind of. They're all beautiful goddesses.
Okay. He's sleeping. So, which one is the
Yeah, you don't talk about her like that. You get a glass on
I
your
know.
face.
Slap her.
You know who I'd like to slap?
No.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I noticed like the ottoman has like dirt on it, like there's footprints on it, and I'm just like, okay, and?
Beer?
Yeah. Are you supposed to drink when you do that?
Sleeping.
Right.
Well, that's all liquor.
Yeah.
That's like 14%.
Yeah, they have the scotch upstairs too. What was that? What was that? One more time. Yeah, OD.
You know, I gotta be honest.
You're
You're gonna move to Atlanta?
I'm thinking of it.
I moved to Atlanta, but I think it'd be hard to find a Oh, shit. Where the hell did you find that?
Here, just clean it up. Just clean it up. Just clean it up.
You should probably be crying or something, right?
No, I'm actually really flexible, bounceable. You don't know that. Sorry, I was going to
You got a call coming in?
Yo. It's a callback.
No,
I'm going to Atlanta! Bitch!
Kevin Guzowski. We really missed her when she moved. She actually moved to Atlanta. She went to Texas. But I don't know what she's up to now, but she snuck in. So here she is. Let's give it up for Condi Davis.
Hi guys. Yes, I am here again for now.
Hey, Condi, how you doing? Condi Davis.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm actually still thinking about moving to Atlanta, so wow, how timely. But yeah, I'll make my little thing really quick. But I mean, everything that everybody said just completely sums it up. I mean, as you could see, super patient with me on stage and off stage. I felt just as safe with him on stage as off stage. I talked to him like throughout my moving, my struggles. Like there was one point I was living out my car and I felt very comfortable talking to him about it, and he like offered me to stay on his couch or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I love you, man, but no, because, you know, just, I don't know. But he still made me feel comfortable, like if you need anything, I'll leave, you know, whatever. When I was in Texas, even like 6-7 months ago, he checked in because he was moving, and he said, I said, you know, I would help you move. That's like my superpower. If anybody knows me, that really is. If you're moving, I will help you move. Car, labor, anything. I'm really that person. But anyways, he was like, yeah, that's one of your superpowers, like one of many. And I was just like, I believe you. Because that's what Kevin does. He makes you believe in like the best of yourself. And I'm just very appreciative of his friendship, his playing with trio. Just one of my favorite players, one of my favorite people, and I'm just astonished to lose him. This is one of my first experiences with that as, you know, a young adult. I've not had somebody this close with me just pass away like that so instantly. So I'm very thankful for the good times and reminiscing, and that scene was just, cringy to watch, but just exuding, again, his love, his patience, and then his amazingness. So thank you, Kev.
Hey
guys, I'm here for now.
Thank you. And was there one thing that you really learned from Kevin, or like one thing that really oops, you're not just one thing that really stood out that you could take away in your life or in your improv?
Yeah, on stage, I would say patience. He really doesn't rush anything, and that's so good. And also the way he argues. I know it's random, but the way he argues, him and Shanna had just such a great duo. They did like a few shows, and the way they argued was just the most relatable because it didn't get over the top so fast. It was just very subtle, and like it was like a cute couple that you just wanted them to win. Like always, really wanted them to win. So I really liked his grounded, being very grounded on stage and off. And off stage, he supported like every show I did. Within this show, out the show, I've seen him at other shows. he's a good person, and just be genuine. And yeah, there's age gap, but I've never felt left out of a conversation with him, ever. I've always felt very respected and very just comfortable. So if I could take something from Kevin, it's support your friends, and also be grounded on stage. That shit looks great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking for Kevin, and also thanks for sneaking in. I was not expecting to.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
All of you who happen to watch, and I know, I'm sorry about the videos, the Facebook video that I couldn't get going, but thank you all for coming to watch us through the Twitch. I'm sure Kevin, if he's looking down, he's really happy about this whole thing. Thank you for just supporting him and knowing how much he supported us and supported the community. I loved him so much. I mean, I still do. He's still with us in spirit. So once again, I want to thank everybody who came and talked. I also want to thank Nicole Ruiz. She has been doing audio and lighting and helping out there. There's a lot going on here, a lot of things switching around, and so she's been helping me out a lot. And once again, I'd like to just thank you, and thank Kevin especially. He has been just such a great force in this improv community here, in the Seattle improv community, and he's one of the guys I really looked up to. I loved and respected, and everything about him. So please, if you're sad about elections, or if you're feeling upset, just think about how much joy Kevin has brought to your life, and again, thank you everybody who participated, and once again, thank you Kevin, and we'll take it out with this great picture here. I love this picture. And I've been Jay with Untitled Productions at the Duo Improv Showcase. Next Wednesday, we're going to have an actual performance going on. So come back to that. It'll be Tiffany, Susie Simpkins, and Dan Zertucci. But anyway, thanks, and I'll sign off. I'm going to leave this picture up. Thank you.
Love you, Kevin!
Love you, Kevin!
Take where you said. Take where you said.
That's a great pick.